Hi there, my name is Pat Snyder. I'm a dementia caregiver educator in North Carolina. My class is affiliated with the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Uh, let's talk about poop nightmares. This comes up quite often with caregivers. It certainly did happen at my house. Any of you who are taking care of a dementia patient in your home, my husband knows what I'm talking about. And my husband had Lewy body dementia. He was diagnosed in 2007 and passed away in 2015. This kind of thing happened at my house. Let's talk about some ways you can manage this, some ways you can make this easier on yourself, easier on your loved one. First of all, let me say this to you, and some of you are going to laugh and some of you are going to go, is she kidding? But guys, it's just poop. It's just poop. We dealt with it when our kids were babies. We dealt with it a lot. We dealt with it for years. Granted, the baby is now possibly 200 pounds and hairy, but it's still just poop. And if it's going to be a part of your story, we somehow have to get on top of that and manage that and figure out how not to let that hurt us, damage us, even kill us because of the level of stress. So first of all, it's just poop. Okay, now what can you do ahead of time if you're not there yet? Some of you are newbies in this story, or you're in the middle level, you haven't gotten to this point. You may not get to this point. Nobody knows how your story is going to go. But prepare ahead of time, be proactive. If you can modify your bathroom, if you can turn your bathroom into a place that is easily cleaned, if you can have a wet zone possibly where the toilet and the shower are in the same area and the floor slants a little and there's a drain. Just think Walmart. When you go into a Walmart bathroom or a commercial bathroom, a lot of times there's a drain somewhere and you're not aware of it, but the floor is slightly slanting down toward that drain so that when the people go in to clean, they can do it fairly efficiently and quickly. If you can put that kind of European model bathroom in your home ahead of time, it's one of the things I did very early on because I heard the poop nightmare stories. I knew that's where a lot of the devastating battles might take place in the story for me and my John. And so I did this very early. Now, if you do not have the resources to do that, okay, what are the things you can do? Go into that bathroom when nothing's happening, when there's no drama at your house. What can you do in that bathroom to modify and make it easier? Where can you put the very sturdy hand holes? Where can you possibly add some kind of adaptive equipment where you put a shower head on and a hose, and you maybe put a little connector, a little device that will, you can put that shower head really low. Or when you purchase a shower chair, does it have a little place on it where it's easy just to put that hosed shower head so you can have it easily reachable place for cleaning up? Because the bathroom is going to be a kind of battle zone for most of us who are dealing with dementia caregiving. If they continue to stay in our homes. So modify the bathroom, have equipment ahead of time, have wipes ready, have work towels ready. At my house, the people towels were white, the work towels were the used colored ones or the inexpensive colored ones that I could buy. And so that was simply, I didn't have to think about what I was grabbing. I would just have all these colored towels available in places all around my home where I knew those accidents and spills might happen, where it was going to be easier to clean up. Paper towels, in this day and age, it may be a little harder to find those, but most of us have towels, most of us have wash rags in our house, all of us hopefully have running water. So try to figure out how you can have things, antibiotic sprays, things like Lysol, something in your favorite scent. Try to make it something that's going to be pleasant. Have that available to you. I do have an article called A Bathroom That Works that is available if you're on the LBD Caring Spouses site. and it talks in some great detail about how I modified that bathroom. So for those of you who are on that site, that's a place you can go and look in the file section. So try to modify your bathroom in whatever situation you are. But let's look at maybe the bathroom isn't the best place. If you are already dealing with an incontinence issue, it may be wise to have in your bedroom where your loved one is a bedside potty, a potty that that has maybe rolling wheels on it so that you can easily maneuver it and manage it and then lock it into place so that the movement from the bed to have to go to the bathroom is very close to the bed and much more convenient. Or another option is the person is wearing Depends, hopefully something like that at this point in the game. Another option is encourage them to simply stay in bed when it's the middle of the night, because this often happens in the middle of the night when we're exhausted and can't think straight. But you can say to your loved one, you know what, it's the middle of the night, I know you're stressed, but can you just go ahead and poop in your pants? Just go ahead and then I'll clean it up. It'll be so much easier for you, so much easier for me. Just don't worry. Don't worry if that's going to happen. It will be something I can clean up easily. And you're going to have to use your Meryl Streep face. You're going to have to be an actress. None of us wants to do this. That's a given. It's so stressful. But this is where what you do, what you say, your body language, the expression on your face is going to go 1,000 miles in one direction or another, because they are our precious loved ones. They are like dry sponges at this point in the game. If incontinence is already happening, they are going to soak in your attitude, your approach, your response. And if you are agitated and feeling like you've got to rush into the bathroom and you've got to get this done and your voice is tense and you're talking like I'm talking right now in short, jagged syllables, it's going to be delivered that this is a bad thing. And you're a person with dementia whose brain is not processing everything you're saying well, but they're definitely processing your emotion. They are going to soak that emotion in and they're going to give it right back to you. Now, is that what you want? Is that best for them? Is that best for you? So think about remember, we're outsmarting Louie. We're outsmarting the disease. You're going to nurture your loved one. You're going to hate the disease. You hate this moment. So you want to outsmart this monster, this enemy who's trying to devastate both of your lives. Outsmart the enemy. Try not to be angry with your loved one. Think about this. Would any adult human being want to be in this position? Would anyone choose this? Of course they wouldn't. None of us would choose this. This is Louie. This is the disease happening. Outsmart it. Put on your Meryl Streep. Get your face calm. Make yourself smile. I know this sounds crazy. I get that, people. But we are fighting an enemy. So get yourself calm. Relax those shoulders down. Take some deep breaths. And speak in a very calm, I'm in charge. Nothing's going to hurt you. I'm not worried. And you're thinking, it's just poop. It's just poop. I can deal with this. Do I want more poop all over the place, or do I want poop in a very smaller, more contained place? That's my goal here. Okay, people, I know you think I'm crazy, and I hope you're laughing at this point because I'm trying to be a little crazy and silly with you. But you want to win this game. This is a game you want to win. You don't want the disease to win this game. You want to outsmart the disease. So try to stay as calm as you can. I know it's 2 a.m. I know you're exhausted. I know you're at the end of your rope. But see if you can outsmart the disease here. Okay, so you're staying calm. You're trying to be relaxed. If you can get them to go in the Depends, that is the smallest possible area that you're going to have to clean up and get them to stay on the bed. I hope you've had some help or assistance or some training from someone, a CNA, friend, or some sort of specialist in nursing who can help you know how to safely clean up a mess like that in the bed. But containing it there is one of your best options. Or having it in a bedside commode where you can contain it, because you're not likely to hurt your back. You're not likely to have to deal with a fall that they have or that you have as a result of moving them when you're exhausted and frustrated. So if you can get them to stay in bed, get them to stay in bed. If you can do a bedside commode, do that. If you think you can safely help them maneuver into the bathroom, do that. Now let's talk about what happens when you are maneuvering them. Let's say you're trying to get them out of bed. They're having movement issues now, okay? And so you're trying to help them get up. Remember, this is dementia. This is an impaired brain trying to hear what you're saying, process what you're saying, while the body is stressing because it has to go to the bathroom or it's in the middle of going to the bathroom. So you've got a brain that's already occupied in the digestive system, trying to process what you're telling them to do. So when they try to get up and you're holding or assisting in some way, they are likely to pull in an opposite direction. This is very, very common. This happened at my house a lot. John would try to do what I was asking him to do. But when I would ask him to come and pull forward, he would pull in the opposite direction. That's not because he was being difficult to deal with. It was because his brain couldn't process either what I was saying, or it couldn't deliver the muscular commands that he needed to have to be able to get up easily and help me help him. It wasn't his fault. He wasn't being stubborn. He wasn't being arrogant. He wasn't being hateful. He was trying the best he could. Just like if I had been in that bed with dementia and he was telling me to do that, I would have been trying the best that I could. So try to keep that in the forefront of your mind, that when they are doing some kind of movement and they're giving you a look on their face that's obviously not positive and they're pulling against you, it is not because they're mad at you. It is not because they're mean in that moment. It's because they can't deliver. They're frustrated. In some level, they might realize this isn't working and I can't fix it. And the level of frustration, the level of anger that might be coming out is not directed toward you. It looks like it's directed toward you, but it's directed at that frustration. That's where it's coming from. So try to keep that in mind. So if you finally can get them to move and you get them into the bathroom, and then once again, they can't sit down on the toilet. They can't follow what you're asking them to do. They especially can't follow what you're asking them to do if you're saying it quickly, if you're saying it in a command voice, if you're saying it in anger and frustration, if you're shouting at them, if you're speaking fast. Those are things that will block the communication. So once again, deep breaths. Remember, it's the middle of the night most likely. You're exhausted. You're going to be involved in this for quite a while anyway. You can actually shorten that amount of time by taking the time at this point to force yourself to take some deep breaths, even in the middle of it, in the middle of the drama if you can, to slow your voice like I am doing now, to slow your pace, to become calm, to become very supportive, to become understanding in the middle of this chaos, because you're the only one in the room who can do it. They cannot do that as much as they might want to. And believe me, I'm sure at some level they want that chaos to stop as much or more than you do. So see if you can put yourself in a calmer place, if you can back off. If they cannot deliver and do what you're asking them to do, accept the fact that there will be more mess. If you can eventually get them without forcing them into that position on the toilet, then relax for a little bit. If hallucinations set in, if delusion sets in, remember, this is Louis, this is the disease speaking. This is not your loved one. So if you can, divert it. Do something absolutely crazy, like start to sing a song you know they like. Start to sing a song that you like. Start to do something that is going to be completely different, that can help their brain reset. Their brain's going like this. You want their brain to do this. Think of something you might do or say that can have a reset, where you're backing up in the middle of it if you can, and give them another direction to choose from. Their brain may have an option. Now, they might resist this, or they might surprise you and go with it. If you can have a place in that bathroom or easy access to a place where you can actually sit down and just, both of you, once he's seated, both of you are seated and you're just kind of taking a little emotional break. Anything like this that you can do. Once he's seated, if there's mess around his feet or mess around the floor, and you can get a shower spray going that's very warm and very comfortable, that can start the cleanup process and be a safety mechanism. If they have mess around their feet, or there's urine or something around their feet, you really do want to try to clean that up if you can, and use a towel. So that potty time can actually be a time when you are trying to make it a little safer where you both are. Having those towels already there, having the shower head already there, having access to I'm not sure what you call them, but they're these little things you can purchase, even little round discs that have suction on them, that you can connect to a surface like a wall or a tile, where you can move that shower head where you can reach it easily. Also, a shower head that you can turn, a nozzle that you can turn off so that you have access and control over when the water flow is there. Having all that stuff already in a reachable place, having your Lysol spray, all of that stuff where you can get to it most easily, that reduces the number of things you have to do on the spot. That can ratchet down your list of things to do, which will help you be calmer and feel more in control. Whatever you can do in these situations to try to remember, they are not being uncooperative on purpose. They are doing the best that they can. It is highly, highly stressful trying to de-escalate this situation so that you don't end up both being completely exhausted and spent. And then later you just feel all guilty. We've all been there. We've all made these mistakes. We've all done the things that don't work particularly well. I'm doing this video not to condemn you, not to criticize you. I've been there, done that too. We all have. Just trying to point folks in the direction that will give you a more gentle journey, that will help you, that will help your loved one. Remember, if you can personify this disease and separate the behaviors, the words, the choices, and understand that the ones that are negative and hurtful, just take for granted, assume, make yourself assume that's the disease. Nurture and help and assist your loved one, not only in the task at hand, but how to do it in a way that's calming and that won't make them feel guilty and bad and make them feel worse about what you're having to deal with as a caregiver. Thank you so much for what you're doing. This is hard, people. This is hard. This is hard. No two ways around it, but it is doable. It is something you can do. And if you get to the point where you're like, okay, I just cannot do this anymore, recognize that, okay, that may be where you are. It may be time for placement. It may be time for some medication where your loved one's going to sleep a lot more than they've been sleeping. You may just need to get some of those kinds of helps. One of those things, both of those things. There are options that you do have. Bringing in caregivers to your home, if you don't want to do a placement in a facility, those kinds of things can make a difference. But just hang in there, people. I am so sorry that you're having to deal with this. It is doable. You can survive this. You can look back on this and find moments where, okay, this was a learning moment. This was a place where I did kind of make a turn a corner, and I started to be able to understand what might work better in this journey, making it a more gentle one for you and your loved one. Thank you so much again for what you do. Bye-bye.